Right, okie dokie. Look at that blue sky behind me. Now, here we are. Well, see, Linda, I thought I could actually, I thought I could ban them. Like, I thought if I clicked on a comment that somebody was making that was being abusive, that would take them right out, but it didn't. It's not on this platform, and I didn't realise that. Anyway, right. So here we are. This is McCaig's Tower, and we're looking at the entrance to it here. I'll just slowly come round. There is a path that goes down at the bottom that you can walk up. It's about 75 metres, I think, the length of the path. But there's also a flight of stairs just ahead past the trees there, and there's a car park. So if you come up, it's really easy to get up here. Obviously, if you've got mobility issues, it'll be a little bit slow, but, you know, you just take your time. And I was just sitting on a bench there, so... Now, I can't remember what that plant is called, but I always call it dinosaur food. Great big leaves, they're absolutely enormous. Does anybody know what that is? It's huge. Right, anyway. Gunnera? Oh, okay. Oh no, that sounds horrible, Helen. Right, castor bean plant. Oh, I'm going to have a look at that. I'll try and Google, thank you. Right, so the tower itself, it's a really prominent landmark in Oban. You may well, if you were with me last night, you'll have seen it from the water side there. Now it's sitting above Oban on Battery Hill, so that's where we are. Now I'm hoping the sun isn't going to make this difficult, because I want to... There is a little plaque up here. Isn't that beautiful? Right, so I'm just going to come up, and then I'm going to zoom in. So if you want to, you can get a picture of the little plaque that's up there. There. Right, it says erected. I'm going to tell you about that in a second. It's just telling you about how it was constructed when it was opened. Oh, look, there. Now, right, work started in 1895, and it was paid for by John Stuart McCaig. Now, he died in 1902. Now, so you've got like this lovely little sort of public park in here as well. Oh, nice gym. Now, the construction took place over the winter, and it was basically to give stonemasons, local stonemasons, work. The construction actually ceased when he died, though. When the benefactor's death, the family didn't continue the work, so it never actually got finished. 200 metres in circumference, okay? I'm just going to get up these steps, so just bear with me a second, because they don't look very big, but they're huge. Right. Right, there we are. Oh, there's a robin. I'll see if I can zoom in, but I don't think oh, he's away. No, he knew I was coming for him and he went away. Yeah, so John Stuart McCaig. They used stone from the Bono quarry, and as you can see, the heights vary because we're actually following the contour of the land. They didn't actually change. They didn't level it. They left it like this. You were up here the other week. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I know there's a bit of a sun glare there, but I think that's lovely. So Bono's near Loch Etive, if anyone's looking at the map. And as you can see, the height varies to accommodate the land inside it. Look at that tree. Is it lichen that's on it? Isn't this beautiful? They stopped working on it in 1902. I don't know what these are, but they're gorgeous. I think they're like berries of some description. Oh, so this one's still got kind of the flower shape to it. Hi, Helen. Yeah, I'm going to go into Oban in a minute. I just wanted to show you the tower and then we'll go down and have a look at the view. The population of Oban is about 8,500. Oh, there's a ferry just coming in. But as we come to the front, we're going to get this lovely view over the front of it. Right. Just looking for the way down. No, they never finished it. It was basically to give work to the men in the local area to make them in the winter, so they had a way of earning money. I think it was going to be some sort of gallery type thing, but it never ever was completed. It's a beautiful colours, time of year this that we've got. Absolutely fantastic. Right, I'm going to take us down and we'll have a look out at the front. Here we go. Oh, these look quite strange as well. I can't get it to focus, but that's weird. Right, now, Oban means little bay in Gaelic. And it's, once we see it, it is almost a perfect horseshoe shape. So once we get out, you'll be able to see that. And because of its shape, it made it a good sort of little kind of harbour port type place. So there's been people here since the Bronze Age. Now you may be able to hear the ferry. Can you hear it? Yeah, you can. Now during tourist season, Oban's population can go up by around 24,000 people. It's crazy. Now, it's known as the unofficial capital of the West Highlands, and it's the gateway to the Isles. So this is where a lot of people come to get the ferry, and we can just see one coming in now. Sorry, the wind's blowing because we're coming out of the shelter, but you can see a ferry just coming in. So these go to the Inner and the Outer Hebrides. Isn't this beautiful? Right, I'm just going to have to wade through a puddle if you bear with me while I walk round the edge. I don't want to get my feet soaked. Right, there we are. So this is what I couldn't really show you last night because it was too dark, but here you can see the ferry coming in. This is like the hub for Calmac, so Caledonia and McBrain, you might be able to see it written on the side there. Don't know if that's working for you. Is that okay? Right. Is that okay? Can you see it? Right. Okay. It's so strange when you see the lift and the bits at the back up. Now, in Oban, culture-wise, it's the home of the Royal Mod. I mentioned that last night. So the Royal Mod is sort of singing Gaelic Celtic music. And it started off just on a Saturday afternoon. I think there was like, what was it now? 10 competitions when it first started in 1892. So it was one afternoon's worth of competitions on a Saturday, and now it's grown into a much bigger experience. So yeah, it hosted it in this. Oban hosted the mod in the centenary in 1992, and that's when it became the Royal Mod. I'm just watching the ferry coming in, and I'm hoping this is okay for people to see. We've got quite a lot to see up here, but I just thought, if you ever wondered how it was done, here we are. So the mod, like I said last night, is a sort of every 6 to 8 years it's held here. And the Highland Games was actually held in August this year. So there's a Highland Games in Oban. I might just come up a step or two, just bear with me. There we are. I'll look back over. Now, as we're looking, there we go. You can see the ferry coming in. So that's where we ended last night. You can see with the railway line just next to the ferries. So you've got the ferry, and then you've got rooftops, 1, 2, 3, 4 sets, and then you can see the trains. So you can get a train to Oban. If you're coming from Edinburgh to Oban, I think you have to change, but I think if you're going from Glasgow, you can come straight up, or there might be another change. But the public transport system here is absolutely fantastic. So that's the trains and the ferry. That's it. Now I'm just going to come down, and you can see the chimney there. So that's where the distillery is. I'm just going to zoom it out a little bit for you though, so you can get a bigger view again. Isn't that gorgeous? The sun's come out, so we're getting quite an interesting there. And the viewpoint up here is absolutely stunning. I'm just going to come round. Now, I did try to show you the cathedral last night. We didn't get on very well there because the lights were out, but just in the distance. So there you can see the cathedral. Isn't that beautiful? I know it's one of those places you could, but I just want to show you this board whilst we can. Right, so on the board here, as we look up, you're seeing it there, and then the little island in front. I don't think we can see Duart Castle today. No, we can't, it's too hazy. But I'm just going to come down so that you can... It's too long to take a picture in one go, but I'm just going to let you maybe try and take some screenshots, because we're quite high up here. There. Right. It is gorgeous though, isn't it? And then if we look down, I'm just going to zoom in quickly. Right, so you have the red St. Columba's Hotel, and then you've got the inn and everything that we walked past last night. And you've got the North Pier, and then we're looking along the rooftops. It's not actually that cold. I'm actually staying in the Premier Inn. We managed to get a family room, so for the 2 nights, last night and tonight, it was £166 for the 2 nights, which I thought was really, really good. I mean, it doesn't include breakfast or anything like that, but it meant it was almost affordable to come up and do. Plus I wanted to get the videos done as well for you, so it was kind of a gamble, as you do, but sometimes you just have to be able to do it. Right, in 2011, 2.8% of the town's population over the age of 3 spoke Gaelic. There is a theatre here called the Corran Halls. The Corran Hall, actually we can probably see, we can see the rooftop from here. As we look over, is that a castle or a private home? Duart Castle is that the one I mentioned, Duart Castle? Duart Castle is on Mull, and it's I think they still live there. The clan chief still lives there and things, but you are allowed to go in and visit it, so it's lovely. Last night we did a postcard. Well, it was basically a postcard tour, yeah. And some of the Voyagers actually put it onto Facebook. So there's postcards there if you want to see it. Oh no, that's a private house. Sorry, the one we're looking at right there. Sorry, I'm a bit slow in the uptake. That's a private house. And then you've got the cathedral behind it. And then in between the private house and the cathedral to the right, you can see a flat, rectangular shaped white building with a chimney. That's the Corran Halls. So that's where like the visiting shows go and that kind of thing. But yeah. So there's lots to see in Oban. There's a lovely little museum, the War and Peace Museum. It tells you a lot about Oban during the war, but it also has like arrowheads and things like that from the Stone Age, Bronze Age. What Stone Age is it? Neolithic, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Neolithic. So there's lots and lots to actually do here. Oban Distillery just down here, 1793, I think it was opened. Actually, as a brewery, they were making their first thing was cowbell ale, and then the next year that's when they started making whiskey. Now the whiskey was smelling absolutely fantastic last night. I was just standing in the right place, and you were getting this lovely smell. Distilleries have a fantastic smell. Anyway, and the 14-year-old is actually one of this region's representatives. There's 6 that they pick for each region. And you can do a tour in the distillery. It's about £20. Well, this year it was £20. You get a tasting and a tour, that kind of thing. So if you do want to, if you're coming to Oban, what I would say though, if you can, is to book the distillery in advance, because a lot of the time distilleries can only take a certain number of people through at a time. So it's just to make sure you're not on it. Tastes fantastic. Thank you. Now the railway link, which is just ahead of us here, right in the centre at the moment. Oban was told that we could have a railway in 1864. The authorisation was given, it was to go ahead, but it took years to complete. It didn't open until the 30th of June 1880. You know, that's a long time to wait for a railway line to be introduced. But then saying that, as soon as the railway came in, it then started to open the place up to tourism. It is looking huge on the camera, and I'm assuming it's because my lenses are going, no! But it's fantastic that you're still able to see, because I was having a panic thinking, oh, I've picked the wrong time of day because of where the sun is. So you can see the chimney of the distillery there. So it was 2 brothers, Hugh and John Stevenson, who set it up. And it's one of the oldest single malt distilleries still producing in the area. So if you want to go to a distillery, it's quite a nice option. There's seafood. That was the other thing. Oban is the sort of seafood capital of Scotland at the moment, because they get so many. They've got so many beautiful seafood restaurants, even down to the little green shack. I don't think I can show you it from here because of the way the sun is shining. But there's some fantastic seafood restaurants. You don't have to worry if you don't like seafood. There's everything you can imagine: pizza, burgers, traditional Scottish food. But in this area I've just kind of gone into, that's where the green hut is, where they prepare the seafood for you. So if you want to eat it then and there, they do everything depending on what's in season: langoustine, lobsters, scallops, mussels, you name it. And if not, they can sell you it and you can take it home and prepare it yourself. So yeah, if you're into seafood, this is one of the best places to come for it. Some great restaurants, like I say. Right, I'm just going to take us over because we've been... There we are. Lots of bed and breakfast, lots of hotels in Oban as well. What I would say to you though is some of the hotels are a bit tired. Okay, so just bear that in mind. And if you're looking for air conditioning, you're going to have a bit of a struggle. I know a lot of people want air conditioning. Scotland, we don't really need it that much. So the older hotels don't tend to have it. But the Premier Inn, who is a budget hotel, actually has air conditioning. So yeah. Oh yes, Helen, sorry, thanks for reminding me. Sorry, Helen's just mentioned the boat trips. There's several places that you can do boat trips from. There's one just behind these buildings. You can do boat trips from there. Oh look, in fact I think that might be one of the ribs. Is that one of the ribs coming in? But there's also, oh, I love salmon. There's also on the other side, I'm just going to bring it round for you. Sorry, that's going a bit fast because I've got you zoomed in. I'm just going to zoom out and hopefully not make you sick. But where the harbour is, just down there, there's another set of boat trips you can do from that side, and they do wildlife. Oh, you're making me hungry with the salmon. They do wildlife, seals, that kind of thing. And they do 1 hour to longer. They also have fishing trips and that choice there for you. And further up the coast, you've got like the safaris where they take you out and do things there. Mull, oh, that's lovely, Helen. Mull, Iona, Staffa, all really easy to get to from Oban. There's day trips you can do, or if you've got time to spend the night on Mull, yes, Iona's just mentioned it there. The 3-aisle tour is great. Staffa, in case nobody really knows about Staffa is like a volcanic island. It's not a volcano now, it's extinct, but it's got all these column joints, like a bit like Giant's Causeway, if you've ever seen a picture of that. And it has Fingal's Cave, which is this natural cave that's been worn away with the water. And is it Mandelson? Oh, I can't remember it slipped my mind. Anyway, there was a composer who went there and he composed music. Thanks, Mark. Around that cave. And I was very lucky, although I get really badly seasick. Anyway, there was only 3 of us that went on this boat trip from Iona to Staffa. And the lady who was on her own, because I was with my client, she was an opera singer. And it had been her dream to sing in the cave. Only she didn't tell anyone this. So when we went time was up and we had to get back on the boat to go back to Iona, we couldn't find her. So the guys on the boat went up onto the top of the island and I went back along to the cave. And as I was walking to the entrance of the cave, I could hear her singing and it was absolutely beautiful. I mean, she was really good. Staffa's amazing. And Staffa, never mind the cave, it was a brilliant surprise. It also, at the right time of year, you can see puffins. So if you've always wanted to see puffins, it's quite a good one. It's easy to get to from Oban, like I say, or Mull. If you're staying on Mull, you can get boat trips to Staffa, no problem at all. And Iona, you drive up to Finaport, park your car, get on the pedestrian ferry. It takes you over to Iona, if you're staying on Mull, you can spend quite a bit of time on Iona because it's small. You can walk around it. There's all sorts of. There's Iona Abbey and there's the nunnery and that kind of thing, but there's other little secrets that you can go around and explore, and wildlife, of course. There's some really beautiful. Oh, thank you, Natasha. So Natasha's just putting in. My brain went there completely. So this is a great place, but the trouble with Oban is people always use it as like a hopping point to get to somewhere else. And I think, you can give Oban a day of your time just to look around, rather than come in, sleep, get up and go somewhere else. There's much more to see. And I mentioned it last night, but when you go past the cathedral, the land goes round to the back there. Yeah, Fingal's Cave. Is it also called Fingal's Cave? I didn't know that. Thank you, Natasha. There's a fantastic little beach along there, and it's got like little sea anemones and all this kind of thing that you can actually see in the water. You can just go in and, bear in mind this is Scotland, the water's cold, but we're kind of used to it. But you can see all sorts of little wildlife and things. And I took the kids along last year, was it? And it was summertime, and I took them in, and that's when we spotted the sea anemones, and it was just amazing just to see nature, So tomorrow morning, if I've got time before I leave, I'm actually going to go along and do a signal check to see if I can do one of the Scottish beach walks, just to relax and take in the views. Yeah, you know what? The funny thing is, I thought it was going to be a horrible day, but we're doing really, really well, weather-wise. Oh, sorry. I'm just going to quickly let you have a little look up at the outside. Look at that sky, isn't that beautiful? Right, let me see. Let's take you down over here because where I was standing, I just realised there's a big pole getting in the way. So I'm just going to let you get a little slow kind of panorama around. And this, where we are, McCaig's Tower, there's always people milling about. It's never, I mean, when I say always people, there's, usually a dog walker or two. So if you come up here, I've been up here on my own several times and never had any kind of ropey feeling about it. Right, I'm just going to take you back in and back out because I know some people joined later, and just to let them see. Look at that, benches, don't you love it? The ferries run all the time, morning right through to evening, so you're not going to be in Oban and not hear one of the ferries. In fact, when we first started, there was an announcement going off. So yeah, the good thing is if you do get a ferry to Mull from Oban, if you miss the ferry, there's another ferry that you can get, so you don't have to worry. There's quite a choice for Mull. And Mull, it's not as famous, I suppose, as some of the other islands like Skye, but it is a really pretty island. Beautiful scenery. Tobermory is this beautiful, multicoloured harbour town. Jurt Castle is one of my favourites, actually. It was just so nice. The people were lovely, the staff were lovely. The clan chief was just wandering about, helping in the cafe and all this kind of thing. So there's lots to do, and there's a lovely, what's it called? There's some beautiful waterfalls. There's Calgary Beach. There's an old mill that's like a little museum that you can go to. All sorts of things to do. So you could easily use Oban as a base, but also remember to spend some time. The monument, the tower that we're in, that's what the path is like. Okay, so yes, you could get a wheelchair up here. The ferries have wheelchair access. The small boat trips probably don't. But what you would, what I would say is if there's anybody that's a regular with me, could you type in Ewan's Guide, EUANSGUIDE.com? Can you pop it in the chat? Ewan's Guide is fantastic. It's for all mobility issues, medical issues and that kind of thing. They actually go everywhere, and they'll go somewhere and they'll tell you how wide the doors are, is it suitable for a wheelchair, that kind of thing. They're fantastic. And if they don't have it on their list, you can email them, and at some point they'll try and get it on to let you know if it's wheelchair friendly or not. Now here you can see the path's very ropey, but the one in the middle is actually tarmac, so you can get up to the middle on a fairly solid path. That's it, thank you. Yeah. There. Oh, right. Now I'm just going to do one last. I'm going to do an Adam shot. So close your eyes. Right, open your eyes. Now I'm going to go round the other side and just get you that same picture. I'm not going to turn it back. I'll leave it like this until we've got the picture. Sorry. Right, now I'm going to turn you around. Let's see. There, how's that? Is that okay? To the side a bit. There. Look at that sky, isn't that beautiful? Right, I'm just going to turn you back. There, I've gone over time. Man, I thought I was doing well there. Sorry, I actually thought I was doing well, but I've just looked and I'm 3 minutes over. Right, I'm sorry about that, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. I was trying to do a more relaxed kind of tour on this one than bombard you with lots of information. Thanks, everyone. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to get one of these days. HeyGo's just going to come on and go, right, Sam, stop it. But yeah, oh, thanks. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you, everybody that's left a tip. I really do appreciate it, especially as I'm not staying at home. So it helps. And I will hopefully see you. Oh, I forgot when my next tour is. Anyway, Monday, I've definitely got a tour on Monday at 10 o'clock. Right, okay, everyone. Thanks, and I will see you. Oh, thanks, Dustin. Right. Oh, wait, was there something I wanted to ask you? Oh, it's gone out my head. I'll catch you next time, and if I can remember to ask. Right, bye, everyone.